So this one is called Finish This Sentence.
Ooh.
Just like to throw, some fun ones
I
in here.
enjoy this. This is a great time, man.
Yeah. So finish this sentence. Every meal should include...
A carb, fat, and protein.
Great. I actually have on here, you don't drink caffeine but you reintroduced caffeine into your diet. So we'll say, you reintroduced caffeine into your diet because...
Life's too short. I will say the other one, though, you don't consume caffeine. It was because I was a nervous wreck that ran on adrenaline, and when I drank a cup of coffee, it felt like an elephant was sitting on my chest. I never had a problem with caffeine. Like, I would encourage people. There's actually value, 200 to 400 milligrams a day. Good benefit on the nerves, good benefit on ejection fraction of the heart. There's a lot of potential value in some caffeine usage. We abuse it like crazy in this culture, but I was caffeine free for a decade because I worked 100 hours a week, didn't sleep right, had horrific panic attacks. I didn't need the help being anxious. I'll put it that way. But to be fair, was the caffeine the villain there? No, my poor self-care was the villain there. My poor boundaries was the villain there. So in the last couple of years, as my business has grown, I've reprioritized my self-care, my sleep, my balance. I finally let go of all the anxiety and the gun to my head attitude I lived with for a lot of my life. And as a result, my adrenaline levels are down. I don't have anxiety to speak of. I'm about as calm as I've ever been. And so I enjoy a cup of coffee now and then. As you and I were talking about with the Jocko Goes, I enjoy some of the nootropics out there. I enjoy the Zoas by the Rock, some of the branch chains and the electrolyte components that are in those. It's a nice change of pace. It's a nice break from water. I don't consume caffeine daily. It's not something I rely on, but it's something I allow in my diet.
That's a very important distinction because I think too many people, including myself, I got to a point where I couldn't do work unless I had that. I need that energy drink.
Yeah.
And I could do work, but I just felt like
I need that kick. I need that pump.
Yeah,
and that's, again, we talked about this a little bit earlier, but caffeine is a physical stimulant. It's a nervous stimulant. It stimulates the entire nervous system. That's not great if you're trying to mentally focus in a lot of ways.
Right.
That's why those Jocko Goes, I like them because it's a little bit of caffeine, but it has a whole lot of other stuff that's more focused on the mind, right? Vasodilation in the brain as opposed to vasoconstriction across the body. But I also want to point out that it's funny that a lot of people use caffeine to combat burnout, where I actually reintroduced caffeine when I was in a non-burnt out place. And so it goes back to the intention you're using it for, I think, is a big piece of that puzzle.
Great. Okay, so finish this sentence. The biggest diet mistake that you see athletes make is...
eating more protein and not enough carbs. That combo. So a way to say it differently is they should swap out some of their protein for carbs. They come in and they're eating 300 grams of protein and 150 grams of carbs, and they should flip it and they'd get 10 times the results.
I love that because I made that mistake.
Yep. I think we're all guilty of that. I did that too in college.
You should see my bodybuilding logs from when I did shows at Slippery Rock. The amount of protein, I won't even tell you.
Yeah, it was probably like 400 grams, yes, right? You're like, you think you're Jay Cutler out there.
And not to be graphic, but I was on the toilet for about 30 minutes every time.
Oh, absolutely. So your body wasn't using that protein.
Yeah. Okay, next one. Finish this sentence. The age that you can start taking creatine is?
That's a good one. Honestly, I would say 18. You can start a little younger, but the comment is your natural creatine levels are still developing, and the jury's out as to whether or not supplementing the creatine negatively affects them. It's also to say that as a young person, there's so much natural potential and it's not that creatine isn't a natural supplement. That's not what I mean by it, but it's to say that your like natural growth development, growth factors, all those things are so high that you almost want to just like allow them to function properly. And with creatine, there is a consideration of like you need a lot of water, and at a young age, water needs are already through the roof, and so it's hard to like rely on and trust that a kid's going to do that responsibly. And so, yeah, I'd say 18 as a rule of thumb. Yeah.
Okay, love it. Last one. Finish this sentence. The number one supplement for athletes is. You got a basketball player. You can only give them one.
One supplement. Oh, man.
If you choose protein, I'll give you two.
I was gonna say it's not protein.
Not
It's
protein
funny.
powder.
We're gonna laugh because I'm gonna come back to this and I'm gonna say it's creatine. It's creatine.
Okay.
Of the supplements out there, like if you're talking about trying to be as explosive as possible, creatine is gonna be the single most effective thing you can do. The only other one that would be up there would be beta alanine to help with lactic acid flushing, like the hydrogen ions that build up, so it helps prevent fatigue and all of that. But we're gonna go with creatine. It's disproportionate.
Love it. This episode is brought to you by the Nathanael Morton training programs. If you're a serious athlete and you want to take your results to the next level, do not miss out on my advanced training programs. We have everything from upper body to knee strength to vertical jump. Or if you don't got any money and you want a free program, comment JUMP, J-U-M-P, down below in the comment section, and I will send you a free bodyweight vertical jump training program. Yeah. Sorry. Let's get it.